Hey, I'm Ryan Johnson, and I'm going to talk to you about the Jenny Wren Tactical Tomahawk. I designed the Jenny Wren in 2010. I had some gentlemen, Green Beret types, that were posing as college students. They would dress up as college students, try to pass as college students in other countries. And they would have a backpack, they would have a firearm in that backpack, of course, but they also wanted a bladed component in there. And what they were wanting was something that could fit in like a 3-ring binder. So my job was to try to design something that would fit in a 3-ring binder that had the physics behind it to do some real damage in close quarters fighting. And the Jenny Wren is what came out of that. So the Jenny Wren was never built as a breaching tool. It was strictly meant as a close quarter combat weapon. That being said, I've known a lot of people that breached with them, so they can breach. They do breach. The Jenny Wren has the reason it's named Jenny Wren is for the Carolina wren. The old name for a Carolina wren was a Jenny Wren. The Jenny Wren has a funny little tail that sticks up, much like the spike on this tomahawk. The forward edge is canted so that you strike with the front or the very tip of the hawk first, and so it is a slashing kind of blow. And because of that, we've relieved this top edge. This top edge really isn't a cutting edge per se. What it is a relief. It's we remove that material, that square shoulder up here, so that it doesn't get in the way. It makes the cut more efficient. When you cut into something, the surface area that you present to that cut creates drag. So the more we remove, that's especially corners, they create the most drag. So if we remove those right angles and there's nothing there, then it moves through the material easier. So this top edge is super important, not as a cutting edge, but because of what's not there. It allows me to pass through materials easily. The beard, like our other tactical tomahawks, is for hooking and trapping and then pull to cut. It also allows you to cut your way back out of something. The spike is also not only for penetration, but also for slashing. This bottom edge is razor sharp. It allows you to cut or to punch, but as you punch, it allows you to cut back out. So it lends itself very well to like a Filipino martial arts style of fighting. The Jenny Wren is small enough to carry like under a suit coat, and has been carried under a suit coat by people in the field, but long enough to actually be effective when fighting. The Jenny Wren has some texturing on the handle, and the texturing is strictly to allow you to know which end is which. So grabbing a tomahawk in the dark, if I have the texturing at my fingers, I know I'm edge forward. If I can feel this texturing up here with my thumb, I know that the spike is back toward me, and vice versa. It does help with your grip, but primarily it's for indexing in a low light situation. The Jenny Wren has been carried in Afghanistan by Green Berets. It's been carried in Iraq. It's been carried in Africa. There was a time in Africa, security details were not allowed to carry live weapons or bladed weapons, and would actually be checked with metal detectors going into other embassies. And we actually made G10 Jenny Wrens for those guys so that they could get through metal detectors going through embassies. Crazy stuff. Jenny Wren is an excellent small footprint defensive weapon. This choil here on the Jenny Wren and this texturing allows me to put right up on this and choke up on it without getting cut. It allows me to do fine cutting. I want to be able to take a tomahawk like this and replace a knife with it. It has more cutting power than a knife, has more functionality than a knife, but I can still choke up on this either like this or like this and use it to shave down things, to do fine cutting skills and things like that. I want to be able to just carry the Tomahawk if I have to. So that's the Jenny Wren Tactical Tomahawk. It's one of my favorite tomahawks we make. I love the name, I love the size. When I go hiking and so forth, I love carrying a Jenny Wren because of the weight and size, and because it's a great little hawk even in the woods.